Murray.
And we are live. Welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of the Extra Point. Yes, let it all out. Let it out. Let the spirit get you. He said it's time for the show. Love it. Good morning, PL Culture. Tasha T. Sizzle in the house. There she is. How you doing this morning?
I am doing good. It's raining here. Again, I'm not opposed to the rain because it makes it a lot cooler. Your girl has not had to cut the AC on yet because
That is nice.
and this is the longest rainy season. Usually rainy season is over the middle of March and it's already 31, 32, which is which is hot down here. It's not high 80s, low 90s, but I'm enjoying this.
It looks like Dubai outside here in Dallas. I just saw the Ark, Noah's Ark, kind of floating down Horizon North Parkway. Very rainy. It's going to be that way all day. A perfect opportunity for Mother Nature to sit me in the house because we got NBA playoffs wall to wall all weekend long, and that's what we will talk about today. As I said just a second ago, the NBA playoffs start today. We have a number of intriguing matchups to get into, and we will cover all of the biggest storylines heading into this weekend's opening round games. But I want to start with a team, Tasha, that didn't make the playoffs. That's the Golden State Warriors. They were the 10th seed in the West. They got blown out by the Sacramento Kings on Tuesday night. Their season is done. Good morning, Denise. Denise, your TikTok account is off the chain, by the way. Put your TikTok handle in there, Denise. She has some very, very captivating stuff. I'm sending that to all the major networks. Somebody gonna sign you, Denise. Those pictures are absolutely beautiful. All right. Golden State Warriors got bounced as a 10 seed. Tasha, when I saw this stat on the TNT postgame show, I immediately heard your voice screaming, I told you MF or so. Do you know that the 10 seed is 0-8 all time in the NBA play-in game? And when I saw that stat, I heard Tasha say, well, duh, I told y'all the 10 seed don't deserve to be in there anyway. Do away with that 10 seed. It's a waste of time.
Do away with the play-in. I mean, before we go any further, I get it. The more games you have, the more revenue, the more everything else that you can get. So I fully understand why the NBA is making all these extra games, like this stupid ass in-season tournament, this stupid ass play-in tournament.
Right.
What if Golden State had the opportunity to knock off the number 7 or the number 8, who did what they were supposed to do and made it into the season? And then here you go, they sitting at home because somebody got lucky.
Right. And to your point, on the flip side of that, Tasha, the New Orleans Pelicans, who were the 7th seed, they lose Zion. Now, thank God they won last night, but that could have ended their season. Same thing with Jimmy Butler. They were already in the playoffs, wound up losing the game and losing Jimmy Butler to a knee injury. He may be out for the start of the series against Boston, and we'll get into that more specifically here in just a second. But to your point, it's an extra game that just got two very critical pieces to two teams. Got them hurt. Now they're out. Now you're starting to bring me on to your side of the fence, and to your point about money, it was called the SoFi play-in tournament. Just a money grab. Ladies and gentlemen, checking in, we got Mrs. Fierce, Denise. We got her TikTok handle up. Make sure you give her a follow and share her content. Now, is the dynasty over in Golden State as we know it?
It's kind of been over. Like, remember how we were saying what would make them a dynasty, what constitute a dynasty, and we were kind of vacillating, going back and forth on if they were really a dynasty. And Mike was like, they're going to have to win one more to be a dynasty. Even though they had a long stretch of winning, because they won 2015. What was it? 2015.
They won 2015. They lost in 2016, and then they won 17, 18, and 20.
Right. So, like Mike was saying, they would need one more. That one more is not going to happen.
It sure doesn't look like it. They looked old. Sacramento is not even that great. Sacramento got boat raced by New Orleans last night with no Zion. And that's the team that blew out Golden State. So, good gracious alive. It doesn't look too good for them. Now, let's talk about one of your favorite players in the NBA. And good morning, Martrice. Good morning. Let's talk about one of your favorite NBA players. His name is Draymond Green. Now, think about what we just said, that Golden State was in the 10 seed in a packed Western Conference. Well, Draymond 21 games for non-injury related issues. The majority of that suspensions. The longest suspension was his indefinite midseason suspension for putting Rudy Gobert in a damn headlock on the court. Like, just caveman foolish behavior. Now, Golden State went 10-11 during his absence, which basically dropped them into the play-in. What percentage of the blame, 0 to 100, do you give Draymond for Golden State not meeting expectations this year?
I mean, to be honest, I don't really blame him, because when you think about the way they won and when they won in those championships, I mean, he was just a body there. Now, I'm not going to, even though I don't like him, I'm not going to take away what he brings or what he added to that team, because every team does need that enforcer. You look at Bill Laimbeer back in the day.
Right.
Bill Laimbeer wasn't going to get you a lot of points, but he showed with Bo Larry Bird in the damn throat real fast.
Right. And that changed that series to your point.
It did.
But did that to Larry.
I mean, I don't think him being out had a lot to do with the fact that the team is just not what it was. Klay Thompson coming back off of that, he has not been the same since he came off of that injury. And that plays a part. It was basically the Splash Brothers. Yes, and when your Splash is going splish, it's not going to be the same. So I can't really just say it was the Draymond effect, because I think had they gotten rid of Draymond, they still would have been able to win. Because Jordan Poole, when they won that last championship, Jordan Poole was a bigger piece. Andrew Wiggins was the star of that. It had nothing to do with Draymond.
Excellent points. Okay, she's in her basketball bag this morning. This should be fun. Okay, well then let's play a game of hang in there or hit the road. The Warriors have some huge decisions to make this offseason. And let's keep the thing with Draymond. You said that they would have won without him because he's basically just an enforcer and a body. He's going into the second year this coming up season of a 4-year extension he signed last summer. Should Golden State hang in there with him, or should they tell him to hit the road and try to move him this offseason?
I mean, I think they should try to move him, because people, as much as they hate Draymond, say they hate Draymond just like the way they said they hated a Pat Bev. When you have a Pat Bev on your team, people are already going to know you're going to have to square up, because these are dudes that's going to come in and knock your neck loose. Right. I would say get rid of him, because I think they could get more, but I also think they need to move Klay.
Okay, so let's go to Klay then. He's a free agent now, Tasha. So they don't owe him any money. He was a free agent the second the time ticked off that game in Sacramento. Do they bring him back? Do they bring him back on a discount? Do they let him walk?
I mean, Klay needs to come up off the bench. He needs to no longer be in anybody's starting role, because he just going off of this season. Now, in the off season, he could go get that Lyron Rogers treatment for that Achilles and come back a whole new person. Because look what happened to KD. KD went down in warmups, even though KD is not the same KD, but KD's still out here putting up points.
Top 5 scoring this year.
Exactly. And it's still explosive. Klay ain't doing that. So, I mean, I think you could always have a good veteran to come up off your bench, in a pinch to get you some points that you need.
Good morning, Michael Hasso. We look forward to having you back on Thursday for the draft. Good morning, Stacy. And shouts out to his mom, who has a big day today. We will get to that in our closing shout out. What about CP3, Tasha? He played in 58 games. Okay, all right. So you said let his ass walk. They don't owe him anymore.
He shouldn't even been there. He needs to call it a career.
Oh, so done.
I mean, nothing against CP3. I like him in spite of him hitting people in the ding ding and whatnot. But I mean, yeah.
And he kicked him in the ding ding.
Shouts out to Eddie Murphy. Delirious.
I agree with you on Chris Paul, and I'm sure Mike does too, because he cannot stand that State Farm troll. All right. Well, the most intriguing matchup of the first round happens tonight at, I believe, 7:30 on ABC, where the reigning champion Denver Nuggets look to start their title defense against the team they eliminated in the Western Conference Finals last year. That is LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. Denver has won 9 straight against the King. Does that trend continue in this season's playoffs? Buenos noches, Langston.
He said from Miss Miller.
All she did was teach us the calendars. Remember, all we did was calendars and you get it, hey?
R.I.P. to Miss Cynthia Miller.
Oh, R.I.P. Morning, Melanie. Morning. He said we all cheated in her class. Nobody took her class serious. Tasha.
Anytime you have
is this a boat race by Denver?
That she would joke on her and Timbu. I remember Timbu drew her feet. If y'all know, shouts out, like I said, Miss Miller. Her toes. And Timbu, we walked in class and Timbu had drew her feet on the chalkboard.
You have to be some kind of confident to have Miss Miller's feet and wear sandals to a school like Pearl Cone.
And when she's like, okay, Tom Boo. Okay, Tom Boo. I would never forget that. But anyway.
Shut up. Yeah. So are the Lakers looking at a repeat of what happened last year where they got swept in the Western Conference Finals?
Yeah. They're not going to beat Denver. Denver is built for this. Who'd ever thought that we would be saying Denver is built for this? They lay low. They do what they need to do throughout the regular season. And then when it's time to go to these playoffs, especially these last 2 or 3 years, seasons, they've been going for it. And I remember I commented this, and I said, I did not know that LeBron James had aged that much.
You saw it in the play-in, didn't you? With the baby powder in the hair.
And I'm thinking now for 39, now he's the most competent and most athletic 39-year-old basketball player that I have seen. But like I said, I would just see him in the highlights because most of the Laker games come on so late that I don't stay up to watch them.
Right.
He ain't missing a step, but that step is slow.
Father Time is undefeated, bro. In my words of Charles Barkley, I mean, it just is what it is. No way, he's nowhere near as explosive as Miami LeBron or 2016 Cavs LeBron. That's just life, yeah.
And that's why I said, that's what upsets me the most about AD, about street clothes, because you have this veteran who is literally out here throwing his body around, trying to carry the whole team on their back when that's your job. That's why the hell they brought you there. That's
exactly why they brought you there. He was supposed to hand the keys to you and be riding shotgun instead of driving all the way from Tennessee to Texas. I agree that that's a pretty daunting drive when you're driving by yourself. Let's play a game of fair foul real quick because something Stephen A. Smith said raised my antenna yesterday, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it because you two have the same position when it comes to the GOAT debate. You both have Michael Jordan as your one. With no disrespect to LeBron, it just is what it is in your eyes. He said yesterday on First Take that if LeBron were to go through the Joker, dethrone him, and go on to win his 5th championship, then he doesn't have much of an argument for Michael Jordan going forward. Do you agree with that? Is that fair or foul?
I think it's kind of foul because, again, you are basically taking away I can't really explain this to people because it's always coming off as LeBron hate.
No, you cleared that up last week, so go ahead and spill your tea.
It's just the way that Jordan, I mean, you want to watch LeBron, you do, but it's just the way that Jordan drew you in. Every step, every bounce, every dribble, everything, it drew you. You wanted to know what Michael Jeffrey Jordan was going to do.
Yes.
And to an extent with LeBron, but it's kind of like what LeBron is going to give you. But with Jordan, it was always a different bag of tricks. Who would have ever thought he was going to pass up that last shot to Kerr to shoot it to, you know what I'm saying? To win it. Who would have ever thought Jordan would have done
and
that?
Paxson in the 91 finals.
And then, even though because at that time I was a Jazz fan, I'm going to say he pushed off, with the Byron Russell, like you just never knew what you were going to get.
He said Jarrell coming in with being messy again this morning. Damn it, Jarrell. I'm a fan of your TikTok account as well. He says the GOAT can't lose 6 times in the finals. I categorically
But
disagree.
that's the thing. That's the thing. Again, I'm not a ring counter, but that's kind of it for me too. It's like Jordan never lost in the finals, and Jordan and Kobe are the two players that at the end of the day, if it's coming down between my life and them taking that last shot, I'm going with them. I'm not gonna go with LeBron.
Okay, I understand you there, and I agree with you on that. Now, I want to back up to Langston real quick. He says we've never seen it before. Are you talking about what MJ did or what LeBron is doing? Because I think both apply.
Both.
I just wanted you to clarify.
Both. It could actually be both.
Good morning, Christina. Are you in town, Christina, for the big day? Hopefully the weather will kind of lighten up so you and your kids can enjoy some nice Texas weather. Glad to have you on board. But yeah, if with he's saying, he said Tasha line, if San Fran gets 6, she won't stop talking. That is true.
Langston, I don't stop talking now, so I don't know what you're talking about.
That is also true.
They could have had one and kept making it to the Super Bowl and the playoffs every year, and I'm still going to pop my ish. So
the 49ers catching strays this morning. Yes, wedding day. Well, I'm glad that you are in town. The Hustles are a wonderful, wonderful family. I love them. All right. Now, Langston, double back to you. You said we've never seen it before. You talking about LeBron or MJ? Because I agree with, well, actually, I don't agree with him because LeBron is already the GOAT. If you take the totality of a career, the man has 40,000, 11,000 rebounds, and 11,000 assists, and he is still top 10 in the league from a standpoint.
So for the longest, Cap had the scoring record. Was you going to say Cap was the GOAT?
No.
Okay.
Cap ain't crowned the damn king. Good morning, Mama. Sorry to be cussing with you just now logging on, but Tasha's starting stuff with me this morning.
I ain't started nothing.
Mama say, Mama saw, Mama kusa. That's how much you started something right now. But
that's not what he's saying. I'm not gonna stop. That's what he said.
I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah.
Mama kusa sounds a whole lot better. Damn it, I'm gonna have to cut this out the reel. All right. But seriously, LeBron James, if he goes through the Joker and gets his 5th title at age 39 in his 21st season, the GOAT debate is over. Right now, LeBron is the king, but it's still a conversation.
It's still
if LeBron wins this one, the GOAT talk is done.
It's still not going to make him the GOAT. Again, it would also depend on his play. Now, if he was MJ against the Lakers when you're doing this and you switching it up like that, but if he out there looking like old man River.
Don't say old man River when I'm looking out at a flood in my parking lot. Now, Langston says, personally, I have never been captivated and in awe with LeBron game. Jordan did some unhuman stuff. Remember the reverse layup he did against Magic in his first championship run?
That's what I just said.
And went up under the. No, I'm just saying. Luka Doncic can do that now. That's not superhuman.
But that was in the 90s. Now, the one play.
Oh, you yo-yo step into the 90s?
You know what? The one thing that really, really made me hate LeBron James was that block from behind.
Yes. Yes. Knocked off a 73-9. So you know what he would have done to a 72-10 Bulls team? He would have walked their ass down too.
No.
2016, LeBron would have beaten the Bulls.
No, he wouldn't.
Well, we're going to see which one of those teams on your top 5 all time to close the show. But Langston, come on now, man. I know, look, I get it. We're all in the same era. We are all Gen X, and we are all very protective of our lot in history as far as the 90s go. I will never put a team above UNLV or the Fab Five. I don't give a damn how well they play this year. I just won't, because the Fab Five was my guys. So I get it. But what LeBron is doing is just so far above and beyond anything that we've ever seen before.
No, it's not. No, it's not. For these 4 eyes that I'm toting, I've never seen anything in the world like Michael Jordan, and we won't see that again.
Jordan would have beat LeBron mentally. That dog. You agree with that? It's the dog factor.
I mean, it is. Again, and just, again, it's just certain points in games, critical points where you are LeBron. What's his middle name? Arthur James.
I think it's Tramel or something like that. It's
you
some
are
crazy
LeBron
middle name.
Ain't no way in hell you need to be throwing that ball. away. You need to always. LeBron does not have that killer instinct. I think he has it now, but it's too late. Like now he's doing it out of necessity.
Look, LeBron is Mr. Thanksgiving. He lets everybody eat. Jordan's the one that eat dinner in the car and let the family starve.
And that's why he'll never be the GOAT. Because, like I said, them two, the Jordan and Kobe, because Kobe would pretty much tell you in your face, now y'all might as well go on the move. I got this, dog.
That is true. No. That is true. Like no disrespect to our fallen soldier Kobe Bryant, and to an extent, I do agree. I agree with you last week, and I will agree again today. If we were in a dark alley, I would rather Kobe get out the car with me than LeBron, because LeBron, he might sign an autograph and get me slugged. Kobe gonna get out and throw them things because he's trying to get home to them babies and Vanessa. I get that. He's just wired differently, but that doesn't make him a better athlete. Kobe is light years behind LeBron. Light years.
I mean,
MJ is in the stratosphere.
We're not saying we're not saying a better athlete. We are saying the GOAT. And I'm sorry, Michael Jordan will and always will be the GOAT. Yes, LeBron is a better athlete, and that's not what we're discussing. He is the better athlete.
But he says, but not a better player.
He's not.
How many games would that Utah team win against the Heatles, the 2013 Miami Heat? How many games? Does they go 6 games?
Again, different era. And I also don't think that Bosh would have been Bosh against the Jazz, but Wade County would have.
Yes, he would have. Remember Prime Wade? I think that we've gotten so used to LeBron because he's been around just as long as the damn internet. Yeah, he does. When he grit them teeth, or when he stare you down on the bench, it's about to be smoke. When you said that told me everything I need to know, Tasha, because your mind is already made up. LeBron is about to beat the Nuggets.
It's a debate that will never end. And for us, like I said, not a Jordan stan by any means. For us that know, we just know it's just always going to be Jordan for a certain group of people, and it's always going to be LeBron for another group. It just is.
That's true. That's true. It's almost like Magic and Bird. It's just it's a fun topic to do, but although they were in the same era, it's a fun debate. Do the Lakers put up more of a fight this year than getting swept like they did last year?
I think they put up more of a fight, but we're gonna be asking them, did you pinch the bitch?
Oh, so you're saying this is going to be another quick work like Mike said last week?
No, I don't think so, because AD is actually healthy and AD is actually playing like he don't want to wear them street clothes.
Right. And I will say this. Let me put this out here on wax for record, since the game does tip off tonight. If D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura play to their potential, then they will beat Denver. Now, they will beat Denver if the role players play. Anthony Davis has an axe to grind. He was embarrassed by the Joker really the last year and a half that they played regular season or playoffs.
What's been his excuse since he left Kentucky? He's been getting embarrassed since he left.
Not fair. But with the King, he has a ring. And he has something to prove. He's played a lot better. He's going to be first-team All-NBA, or at least second-team All-NBA. Joel, my brother. No, say it ain't so. Tasha, do you agree? He said, give it a 5-piece nugget and some fries to go, please. With one of them nuclear Sprites from McDonald's. Nah, he got nuggets in 5. I got the King in 6. If D'Angelo Russell.
If was a fifth.
The hate is real, ladies and gentlemen. This is really shocking. This is sad. Y'all know better. Y'all know the game. Y'all are basketball savants. This is the smartest audience in the history of sports. Y'all know what y'all watching, and this is a damn shame what y'all doing to LeBron James. It really is. I cannot wait to come on here next Saturday when the Lakers are up 2-1 on that ass. You heard it here. Okay. All right. Who benefits more from winning the title this year, Tasha? LeBron or the Joker?
Of course it would be LeBron, because the Joker could care less. He trying to get back home to his sheet.
That's why I can't stand him. Care about the game.
He trying to get back home to his sheet. didn't
She
even
means
want to
that
do
literally,
it.
by the way. She means that literally. Yeah, it is for LeBron because the Joker, he can move up the ladder, but 2 versus 1, okay. But if LeBron gets number 5, ladies and gentlemen, the debate is over. All right, I got the Lakers in 6. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Mike. And Mike, I'm going to issue a public challenge to you. When the Lakers beat the Nuggets, when you said they have no shot in hell to do, you are wearing this for an entire episode of the Extra Point. Your ass is going to wear this crown, and you're going to wear it and wear it proud. Tasha, are you with me? Do I have a witness in Jesus' name?
It's not going to happen. So I'm just.
Well, speaking of LA, your Clippers and the Mavs renew their rivalry. This is part 3 of their heated playoff rivalry. I cannot wait for this one tomorrow afternoon. Go sink my teeth into that one. Now, on the Mavs side, Jarrell, I know you're a Mavs fan. Luka and Kyrie have been the best 1-2 punch in the league all season long. However, they're going up against 4 healthy future Hall of Famers in Kawhi, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. Healthy all at the same time. Tasha, is the dynamic duo enough to overthrow a more balanced and deep Clippers team this time?
The only reason why I'm going to give the edge to the Mavs is because the Clippers is out there being sponsored by Ben Gay and black ankle socks. I mean, black knee socks with the ribbon in them.
The thin ones.
Yeah, the thin ones.
They got your shoes all sweaty. Langston says, LeBron, please leave us a Paul bandwagon ass to stop jinxing our Lakers. You a Laker fan, Langston? Who knew? See, you learn something new every day on the Extra Point. I got you, bro. We about to enjoy that game tonight. So you make your little man is up, put him to bed at halftime, and enjoy the second half when LeBron puts on a show tonight.
But you know, whenever you have like, what do they say, like the 8-9 matchup in the NCAA, when you have the 5-6 matchup, it's kind of hard to really decide because, again, which Kyrie are you going to get? Are you going to get the Kyrie that won the NBA championship or the one that next year said he didn't want to play with them no more?
Right.
Are you going to
and I think that from the sample size that we've gathered since he's been in Dallas, he's been out of the headlines. He's been playing more than not. The only time when he rests is when the organization tells him to take a maintenance day or 2. But he's played lights out. He is a closer, and Luka is a closer. If you have them both on the floor in the fourth quarter of a tight game, there's going to be problems. They are one of the best teams in terms of clutch points, meaning the game is within 5 points and 5 minutes are left to go in the game. You got 2 closers. You can't double team either one of them. Now, Jarrell says Mavs in 6. I would love to see this series go 7 games. Tasha, how do you see this one playing out?
The shorter the series, the better it is for the Clippers.
Great point.
Because I cannot see.
Great point.
I'm building me a homes out there playing that long, even though, you know, but have you noticed how the Clips did kind of rein Russ in a little bit?
Yes. Now, and speaking of Russ, no, go ahead, finish your thought.
They kind of rein Russ in because Russ can be just all over the place at times, which is part of the reason why I don't think he worked out in certain areas,
especially LA.
Teams. Yes. I just think that age may creep in on them. Of course, you guys know I am always team Kawhi Leonard. I love Kawhi Leonard. I would love to see the Clippers beat the Mavs, but I don't really think it's going to happen. If they do, I'm going to be happy, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Right. Good morning, Miss Hastings. Langston says, Russell, a no-show as usual playoff time. I don't know this time. His role is not the same. He's coming off the bench, and out of his own mouth, he said he's the best 6 man in the NBA. Do you agree with that, Tasha?
No.
Damn. Russ catches strays. He's not because he can't shoot the ball. But I think his intensity and his ability to run with pace will be key. Tyronn Lue is going to have something ready for Luka. It's just the Kyrie effect. Like we saw when a locked-in Kyrie played alongside a great player like LeBron James, they knocked off one of the greatest assembled rosters of all time.
That key word, locked in. Because can you imagine, had he been locked in Brooklyn,
Right.
What they could have accomplished, that's when the wheels kind of fell off of his wagon. His
Right.
skateboard, the screw, the ball bearings came out of his wheels
Yeah.
in Brooklyn.
Right. Now, I agree with you with a longer series favors the Mavs. I agree with Jarrell with Mavs in 6. But it's not because of Luka and Kyrie necessarily. It was the midseason additions they made. PJ Washington and Gifford from Washington. They have been monsters on the board. They give them some much needed size, some much needed rim protection. I mean, they're not Dikembe Mutombo by any means, but they're much better than what they had going into the playoffs 2 years ago before sitting out. Speaking of your boy Kawhi, he was just named the last roster spot on Team USA for the 2024 Olympics in Paris. Should the organization, the Clippers organization, be worried about him playing all through the summer?
I mean, he was the last man. He's basically probably going to be a Christian Laettner-esque from the Dream Team.
Is that disrespectful?
I mean, I don't think it's disrespectful, but I don't think Kawhi is really going to put up a fight about it.
All right, he's basically going to take his wife and his kids over to Paris, spend about 6 weeks over there, enjoy the sights and sounds, get his gold medal, and come on home. I agree. Now let's go to the Eastern Conference because we have a very, very interesting matchup between Boston and Miami. Now, Boston has been the best team in the NBA all season long. They have home court advantage throughout the entire playoffs. They were even better than Denver was last year, which is saying a lot. But they're playing a scrappy Miami Heat team that knocked their ass out of the playoffs last year from the 8th spot, which they are in right now. Tasha, could history repeat itself, or is Boston too strong this time?
Without the third member of Outkast.
May he rest in peace. Stop it.
I just don't think that they can beat Boston.
Jimmy Butler, as we were alluding to earlier, was hurt in a play-in game that in 2019 he wouldn't have had to participate in because he would have had his playoff seed locked up at the 8th spot. So that alone is tragic in itself. He missed last night's game. He's going to be questionable for sure tomorrow in Boston. I don't think they have a snowball's chance in hell to beat Boston without playoff Jimmy. With playoff Jimmy, I think that they have a chance to beat anybody in the East. That is very disappointing because I really think that Miami and Boston would have been a great series. If Boston wets the bed against Miami again, is it time to kind of re-look at what they got going on with Brown and Tatum?
Yeah, because I to be honest, I always not taking anything away from Tatum because we all know that boy can ball. Brown, for whatever reason, is showing me that he can play and that he is a viable player in this league. But something kind of makes me think, man, they just went in this off of luck. Like they're just getting lucky because I don't know. I mean, it's just the fact that they can never get over the hump. Never. Like what is holding them back from getting over the hump?
Light skin syndrome. And to all my yellow people out there, I love you, especially my mama, the queen yellow bone. I love you, mama. And mama, you clutch. You hit your threes in the clutch. But come on now. Y'all talk
I really wish you stopped talking to me.
But I'm saying, y'all talk about LeBron not having a killer instinct. Your boy Jason Tatum is too damn nice. He's too Morris Day and not enough Ray Lewis. He's too pretty, too flashy. He's always looking for the camera.
Morris Day.
I'm just saying with the mirror, Jerome and Brown is Jerome holding up the mirror. That's them two. Like, get out of the mirror, pretty Ricky, and get your ass out there and scuff up your knee. Go dive. That's what happened against Miami last year.
Damn Fontaines.
Miami came out there thugging last year and knocked their ass out the playoffs.
But
Miami had an inferior roster.
I mean, you had Tyler Hero. He he played good last night. The team played good, but I just don't think that will equate to victories with Boston without Jimmy Butler. I just don't think.
I totally agree. Now, how many games can Jimmy miss and Miami stay in it? Like, he probably won't play tomorrow. But
they won't. They're not. with that type of injury, again, I don't look. This is a parent who had a child that blew her entire knee out.
Yes.
I just don't think my child was the same after that. But that plays against her too, with her tendencies and her really kind of favoring that leg because she didn't want to re-injure it. This could be something that's career ending if you're not able to plant. If you're not able to plant and move and have that explosiveness like you're accustomed to, then I don't even think it's worth playing him because he's not going to be the same.
Right. And you don't want to have a situation to where, like what happened to KD, you get hurt late in the year and miss a whole year after that because of that, which would essentially tank your season next year. Good morning, Sherry Mays, a.k.a. Doc Sherry. We love you right back. And to Denise, thank God she didn't fall on her face. She still got her face there. Boston fans, you should be very, very concerned about this year's title run. I think there's a couple of different teams in the East that could kind of whoop y'all's ass. Miami being one of them. It's just the Heat culture, the way they play with physicality, the way that they play smart, the way that they are coached by Eric Spoelstra, who is the best coach in the NBA right now. I don't give a damn about the seedings. He is the best coach in the NBA. I think Boston may have smoke. Doc Sherry, who's the GOAT? You got MJ or LeBron as the GOAT. That's what we're talking about this morning. So for the people who are late to service, drop that in the chat while me and Tasha talk about things. Now, continuing in the East and continuing with our themes of injury, Giannis Antetokounmpo hurt himself late. One of the last. Whoa. Doc Sherry, I just sent you the. What's the broken heart? Is it like you broke my heart? Unchain my heart. Unbreak it, as the old girl said. All right. Damn. I'm catching L's today on this GOAT debate. And Mike is somewhere laughing. All right. Giannis is out for the start of this series when Milwaukee takes on the Indiana Pacers. A young, talented, scrappy Indiana Pacers team led by your boy Tyrese Halliburton. Oh, no, Mama Hastings, no. Tasha, you are just crushing me today. I can't stand your ass. All right. Giannis is out. They're playing the 6-seed Indiana Pacers team that is clicking on all cylinders. They're one of the high-scoring teams in the league. Here's my first question, Tasha. Can Damian Lillard be trusted to carry the load while Giannis is on the mend?
No.
No faith in Dame Dollar.
No. I mean, this ain't Portland, dude.
This is something different. This is something different. And she agrees. She says no. Damian Lillard, last week, Tasha disrespected that man by calling him 137 years old. Now, I'm giving you a chance to retract. Is he over the hill?
That's not what I'm saying. Dame still has a game that interests me and that I do like to watch. But what did I say? He wasted his career and all of his talent by trying to stay faithful to an organization that did not put that same faith in him.
Right.
By allowing him to go out there and use his best years when they knew they weren't going to put any pieces around him. They give you Chauncey Billups as a coach. And I love Chauncey Billups, but that's not what he needed. He didn't need a coach. He needed some help.
Yeah, that is an excellent point. But don't put this on the Portland Trail Blazers. This is on Dame and his own damn ego and pride. He had painted himself into a corner by talking about KD and LeBron and James Harden for switching up teams. He went out there and boasted all big bag. Huh?
And now look at you. Looking totally dumb and ridiculous.
Looking totally dumb and ridiculous. I would have swallowed my pride 5 years ago, to your point, Tasha, and got the hell up out of Portland. They were only using you to sell tickets and renew the PSLs and the suites because they knew you would come out there and drop 50 in a losing effort. So, it was like King Henry. King Henry said, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, Titans. I want a ring, damn it, and I'm getting out of here the first chance I'll become to be a free agent. And he did, to his point. And now he's on a contender with a real chance in his prime.
In his
Dame
prime.
Dollar, you effed that up. Well, who the hell wants to go to?
Hey, back in the day when they was the Jailblazers, when you had Terry Porter, you had Clyde Drexler, well, the Jailblazers came after that. But back in the day, Langston, you know, when them in the 90s, when Portland was in the finals and Portland was a viable franchise.
Portland was cooking with Clyde Drexler and Kevin Duckworth and
Kevin Duckworth, Terry Porter, all of them.
Terry Porter. Yeah, they were cooking then. A far, far fall from grace. Does Chauncey survive this? They're one of the worst teams in the league right now.
No. I'll be surprised if they bring him back. But I said the only reason why they probably gave him a pass is because Doc Sherry, just Google it. Just Google it. They wrote a book about it.
Zebo, that was felony Zebo at the time before he got to Memphis and calmed down. Rasheed Wallace, ball don't lie.
With Rasheed Wallace, yeah, okay. I think they gave him his pass this year because this would be his first year without Lillard, but they didn't improve. What was their? You can talk. I'm going to pull up what their, or do you already have it?
What
their record was?
Portland?
Yeah.
They were second to last in the league. The only team worse than them was San Antonio.
No, they were 21-61. San Antonio was 22-60.
Oh, so San Antonio walked them down. They fell below San Antonio. San Antonio was trying to tank too. That is a disgrace. That's an absolute disgrace. No, Chauncey, you ain't gonna survive that. No. Now, speaking of surviving that, and Langston, you are correct. That's when EA Basketball was on Sega Genesis, and that game hit Lakers versus Bulls, Lakers versus Blazers. That game was the shit. Now, back to surviving. We're gonna say surviving the NBA. Doc Rivers.
I'm fighting for my life.
Now, Robert. She wasn't even shook. Gail said, now, Robert. Gail didn't even flinch. Robert, sit your ass down. You gotta foul.
Okay.
Whenever a woman says now and then your name, you know there's smoke. You know what I'm saying? Now, I done forgave you, bro. You chill. Now, Doc Rivers has a losing record since taking over after the All-Star break with Milwaukee. Does Giannis's injury give him a pass this year if they get upset by the Indiana Pacers?
No, I don't think that's the reason he's going to get the pass. I think he's going to get the pass because maybe they don't think that there's another coach, because if they thought there was another coach out there, they wouldn't have hired him in the first place.
Really? But they fired the brother that was 30-13.
I know, but again, who else would they had no business firing him. Again, I still think Doc Rivers had something to do. Glenn, tell us the truth, Glenn.
What do you call him, Coach what?
Coach Mr. Steal Your Job.
Speaking of the Pied Piper, Mr. Steal Your Chick. Really more like steal your daughter, but I'm gonna digress. All right. So we're gonna get raised up off you, Aura. Who wins? Milwaukee or Indiana? I know you had Halliburton as one of your top 5 players last week. Is he enough to get it done?
I'm gonna say, I don't know, because without Giannis, I'm fighting for my life. The stuff that we joke on,
when you do this is real.
Father God.
What did I even just ask you?
It's kind of hard. Indiana has more of an upswing. Do they know if Giannis is going to be able to play? What is his status?
Well, they know he's definitely out Sunday, and he's basically to be evaluated. If Giannis was smart, which I think he is, he will duck this matchup, and so he won't be blamed for the loss. It'll all fall on Dame.
Yeah, I'm going for the Pacers.
The Pacers, I think the Pacers get the first major upset of the NBA tournament. Yeah, it'll be the first major because it's not an upset when the King beat your ass. So I got the King moving on, and then I got the the Pacers beating the Bucks. She says, I'm screaming, Paul, that fist clutch has me. Like a fight for the Gail was undaunted.
Gail was literally sit your ass down.
That was literally what she said. SYAD, Milwaukee. It's time to blow that thing up. Should they get rid of Dame this offseason and send him on to Miami where he wanted to be?
No, I don't think you get rid of Dame. I just think you maybe bring one more piece in, and Giannis is going to have to start developing a different game.
And to your point last week, you can't just be a bull in a china shop your whole career.
Right.
Jordan eventually expanded his game and became the most unstoppable force in the history of basketball when he was playing. LeBron expanded his game. Kobe expanded his game. Dirk.
Vince Carter
is a great example. The man, when he lost the levitation, he moved back and got his thing.
He hit that corner three.
Right.
For the man.
Now, shouts out to Justin. Justin, are you in the Bahamas right now? What sandy beach are you on? Are you in the DR? I thought I saw you on a sandy beach the other day. And Doc Sherry, let me back up to you. Now, I don't forgive you, Doc Sherry. You my friend. Don't be siding with Tasha all the time. You hurt my feelings.
Love you, Doc Sherry.
Don't be siding with her. Now, I'll run through a wall for Doc Sherry, but you hurt my feelings this morning. Justin in the building. What's going on? Now, if you in the DR, holler at your girl. You know what I'm saying? She can show you around, show you some nice tourist attractions. Now, I'm gonna call this the Damie Bowl. And the Damie Bowl, who's my brother for y'all that don't know, his Knicks are finally back in the spotlight. After 84 long Titanic years, they finally relevant again. Finally some smoke back in the garden. I love you too, Doc Sherry's. Now we done made up. All right. They are in the 2-7 game against the Philadelphia 76ers starting this late afternoon on ESPN. But this isn't your typical 2-7 matchup. The only reason why the 76ers are that low is because Joel Embiid tore his meniscus and missed a ton of games after the All-Star break. You muted.
No, because Joel Embiid is playing like Joel Embiid with his feet firmly planted like he is an oak tree.
Right. And he was magnificent in that come-from-behind win over Miami on Wednesday night in the fourth quarter, hitting threes, getting and ones, doing it on both sides of the court.
But he's the type of player that has to continue to do that. If he reverts back to his old ways, they're not going to win.
Right. Should the Knicks be on upset alert? Or is this an upset if they get knocked off by the Sixers, given the fact that they're healthy?
It's an upset if they get knocked off. I think this Knicks team has every chance, every shot to make it to the conference finals this year, because it's almost an easy road for them this year.
Yes, it is. You coming down my road, Tasha. I love when Tasha talks basketball because she always surprises me with a hidden nugget that I didn't think she had any research of. So I'm just scratching off notes that she's knocking out, but you are absolutely correct. Last week you had Jalen Brunson in your top 5. He's an MVP candidate. Wait a minute. Langston don't look like he's so sure about that. Langston, be more specific on that. Now, who has the better series, Brunson or Embiid, in your opinion?
Brunson.
You gonna do the Brandon MVP like that? The man can shoot threes at 7 foot tall. The man can dish the ball out the post. The man is a rebound machine.
Okay.
The man is a myth and a legend. He completed the process. No love for Joel Embiid.
What did I just say?
You did say Brunson. Okay. Would you take Brunson over Kyrie?
This Kyrie, no.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So that you must really be impressed with Kyrie on that. Minnesota faces your Kevin Durant-led Suns as the 6th seed. Is this another situation like the Philadelphia 76ers in the East, where they're a 6th seed only in number, that they should be favored to beat Minnesota?
Yes.
And Ant-Man?
Yes. But again, and this is not me being a homer, because y'all know
you are a homer, though.
I do have the tendency to be a homer. Can you let me take my own? Let me follow my own sword here. But I need the big three of Phoenix to all show up and play together.
If Bradley Beal is locked in, they are one of the most dangerous teams in the entire playoffs because of what Kevin Durant can do, because of how his game has matured, because of how he's had a real commitment on the defensive side of the ball, because Devin Booker on any given night can give you 50. And if Bradley Beal is playing like the Bradley Beal that closed out the season last Sunday, then there's definitely going to be some smoke in the city. You have a terrible draw if you're Minnesota. You basically had the number one seed all season. You lost a couple of games, and now you have to face y'all got smoke in Minnesota. Now they do have the Twin Towers back. Karl Anthony Towns is back healthy. Rudy Gobert, Anthony Edwards is
First of
becoming a
all,
superstar.
okay.
No, go ahead.
You know I ain't sold on Karl Anthony Towns because he a big man that don't want to be a big man. I don't.
You said he a big man with size 7 shoes. Let's say he plays small.
Stay humble. Sit down. Stay humble.
Okay, wait a minute. The Knicks are paltry 29% from three-point range last postseason. Dead last among the 16 playoff teams. Outside shooting sucks. Langston with a bar. Let me put that up there. Langston with a bar. Now, Brunson has always been a volume shooter, even in his time in Dallas. DiVincenzo is playing a lot better in his new role, and they don't have that type of shooting. But the Knicks also play with the slowest pace in the NBA.
Yes.
They're going to want to slow the game down, put you in that pick and roll, and let Jalen either pound the air out of the ball and get his own shot or create for someone. Josh Hart has been a great addition. He's basically a walking triple-double now. Now, more stats. He says they had shot a poor 35% in the regular season, which ranked 19th in the NBA, and it got even worse when it mattered most. Oh,
but I still don't. But let me tell you something. Langston can throw every stat from since Willis Reed walked out of that locker room.
Shouts out to Willis Reed for y'all old heads. That was a bar.
The 76ers do not have it. They had their chances back in the day. They chose a certain somebody over Jimmy Butler when Jimmy Butler was all in. That was their time. They chose.
That I agree with you there because Tobias Harris is no damn Jimmy Butler. No disrespect to him.
And then like the Simmons experiment, they kept just holding on to him. Should have got rid of him a long time ago.
He said, "Let me throw the sink then." These okay, Drake. We're gonna talk about Drake. Mark Terry says the 76ers are tired. Wow,
they are.
I like the 76ers' chances.
They go along with what their star does. Jarrell.
Jarrell says Wolves in 7. Now, I'm always down for a game 7. There's no two greater words other than Super Bowl than game 7. I'm down for a game 7. Like word up for real. That would be awesome. I got Joel
like Jay-Z about the head. I'm sorry, what?
Tyrese Maxey is my X factor here. He has been a tremendous upgrade over James Harden, who got shipped off to LA earlier this year. I think if Tyrese Maxey can be a legitimate Robin, I think they have a chance because it's Jalen Brunson and with no Julius Randle.
But that's the thing. We continue to mention players. Langston providing us with these stats. All of that don't matter if they don't show up and play.
Right. And can you match New York's physicality? Because that's one thing that they've never lacked, even back before Patrick Ewing and them. When it was Xavier McDaniel and them trying to punch Michael Jordan, and Jordan gave them buckets, he used to just torment the Knicks. Knicks fans should always say LeBron is the king after what Jordan did to y'all. He robbed all of like 3 rings.
Well, actually, the Rockets, took one of those rings, and Reggie.
When they are beating the Bulls, tell the truth and shame the devil.
I don't know.
That's a yes. That's a yes.
The way they were playing, you had John Starks. Man,
I'm saying the Rockets, the back-to-back Rockets team with Ori and Ellie and Olajuwon and Kenny the Jet Smith, would they have beaten MJ's team? Because he ducked out on those 2 years.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. Langston is telling the truth. He said, yes, they would have beaten the Bulls. Yes, they would. Who had an answer for Olajuwon on that Bulls team?
I don't think the Rockets would have been back to back. I think they would have been 1-1.
Fair enough. I'll take that one win. Anything to diminish Jordan's legacy, even if hypothetically I'm on board with. So I'm gonna let you have that
because they didn't have anybody that could stop that dream shake. Clyde Drexler was that one, even though Kennedy J. Smith knees look like this now. When he came out of Carolina, Kennedy J. Smith was a good baller.
Right, he was. And then you look at the Mario Ellis and the Robert Ory coming off the bench. That team was deep. They would have smoked the Bulls.
Come on, talk about the come up king in Robert Ory. Doesn't Robert Ory have the most rings? Like,
yes, he does.
Like Bill Russell and those guys from that generation.
We're gonna say post tape delay NBA. He's the most accomplished player from a championship standpoint.
As far as rings.
Right, as far as rings. He was in the right place at the right time, but not only that, he hit big shots for all of his teams to win those championships. It wasn't like he was just sitting there. Chris Webber would have an NBA title right now. Robert Ory doesn't hit that 3 in Game 4 against the Kings. They would have been down 3-1 and it would have been over.
But no, if the refs hadn't wanted the Lakers to win anyway, so we just gonna
that effing part. That they're gonna do a 30 for 30 about that once Shaq die. But if Shaq is alive, they'll never put that out. Now let's go to Shaq. Since you're talking about Shaq and MJ, let's compare eras real quick. Team USA announced their roster this year, and it is stacked for the Paris Olympics this summer. You got LeBron, Steph, KD, Devin Booker, AD, Bam Adebayo. You got Tyrese Halliburton. You got Joel Embiid. You got Anthony Edwards. You got Kawhi Leonard. You got a squad. But now let's put the feet to the fire, and we're gonna play start one, sit one, and cut one. Only 2 of these teams survive.
You want this segment to go long, or you want it to end fast?
No, well, I'm about to no. You can do it however you want because I'm gonna disagree with whatever you say. We got the '92 Dream Team, the '08 Redeem Team, and this year's team. Who starts?
92.
Who's on the bench?
I'm gonna say this team because this sounds like a mash unit. The current, this Paris team,
So you're gonna cut the 08 Redeem Team? Is that what you're telling me?
I didn't know we were gonna do that. No, I'm gonna cut this team and I'm gonna bench the Redeem team.
Okay, we agree there that we're cutting this team because LeBron and Steph and Kawhi are long in the tooth.
Baby, long in the their teeth is hanging like this.
Call them saber teeth.
Like it's time to get some prosthetics with that silver ring in them.
Ruin that silver. Now, Tasha, there's no circumstance on God's green earth where the Redeem Team wouldn't have smoked the 92 Dream Team. Would have smoked they ass. Larry Bird was laying on his stomach half the time on the bench with a bad back. Magic already had contracted the virus known as you know what. There was no Isaiah Thomas. You had John Stockton, bless his heart, over Isaiah. They would have won in this year's era in the Olympics. They would win the gold. They just wouldn't have won by 70 points a game. But the 08 Redeem Team with a young LeBron, a young D. Wade, a young Kobe, a young Carmelo, a young Dwight Howard would have destroyed the 92 Dream Team. Prove me wrong. MJ himself is going to beat that.
When it comes down to it, I'm not going to ever bet against Michael Jordan.
Now, come on now, Tasha. Come on now. Michael Jordan couldn't beat all them guys in their prime. Come on now. We talking about young D. Wade before Gabrielle.
Even though Magic had just made his announcement, Magic literally had played that season. Magic was still in playing shape. Even though Bird was laid out on that court, stretching that old wrinkled up back, Bird was still out there yakking it.
He was yakking it. He was yakking it.
The mailman with his child molestation's ass was still out there delivering the mail at that time. Who was going to lock up with? Only person I think you could lock up with would probably be Dwight Howard. When it came to strength, no.
Remember MVP level Dwight Howard at that time when he was doing 20 and 25 a night? Yes, the Redeem Team wins that one hands down.
Okay, if y'all say so.
All right, so let's go on to your top 5. And Tasha, I'm really interested.
All I know is the Redeem team didn't have nobody with no billboard from floor to ceiling. They didn't have no McDonald's cups neither.
Oh, those McDonald's cups was bomb ass, and so were the jerseys when they came out. The Dream Team jerseys. I had Barkley, number 14, by the way. That was an awesome gift, Mama. Thank you. All right. So okay, and the thing is, you can't lose either way. I mean, that was a fun exercise. But I'm curious to know who your top 5 NBA championship teams of all time are. Tasha, the floor is yours.
Okay, now
No, I'm sorry, Tasha. Before you start, that's a lot, Jarrell.
No,
was amazing.
I think even though I'm inclined to agree with Jarrell, I think Wade's speed would have put him on top of Scottie, but Scottie was not to be played with.
He was not, and his son just committed to Michigan. So I agree with you, Jarrell. Let me just put that on record just in case Scottie's watching. I agree. Scottie, you are the man. Send your son on up to Ann Arbor so we can turn this thing around. Tasha, the floor is yours.
Okay. Now, of course, y'all know I'm always biased. I'm just going to take out one of my favorite teams of all. I'm just going to go ahead and take that one out of the conversation, and that's that 2003-2004 Detroit Pistons Bad Boys.
They ended the dynasty. They ended the Shaq Kobe era. They ended that.
But I'm not going to put them on the list. But who I am going to have on the list, and y'all, I did my homework again. Y'all be proud of me. I have the 1989 Pistons, the 88-89 Pistons. That's when they beat the Lakers.
Whip their ass.
What makes the team so good for me is they finally got past Boston, over the Boston hump. They beat a team that had at that time, 4 future Hall of Famers on there. That was like basically kind of the beginning of the bad boy. Well, I'm not going to say the beginning. It was the middle of the bad boy era right there. You had like Rick Mahorn, you had John Sally, you had Vinny the Microwave Johnson, you had all of those guys, and that
bitch could have won a playoff series by itself.
Yeah, they weren't going to be stopped. So, and again, these are in no particular order. The next, even though I hate to put this on here, I put the 91 through 93 Bulls, because 91 is the year that they beat my Pistons, again, which started my hatred for everything that is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. That's neither here nor there.
Speaking of Jeffrey Jordan,
you know what?
Move on, Tasha. Move on.
And the reason why I put the 91, 93 as opposed to the 90, 95, 96, whatever, the last 3 is because at that time, the only people they had on the team was Scottie and Mike. Later on, you had
that's good, because I did have that team on mine, and I see why you went that way. Okay.
Yeah, you had your Tony Koo coaches, you had Dennis Rodman, you had them all on there.
Right.
The next one I have the 2018 Warriors.
Our list is the same so far.
Simply because KD was on the team and he was the MVP, but also that was the team that after Kyrie said he didn't want to play no more. Kyrie wasn't on that team for the Cavs, and that was when LeBron James was still with the Cavs.
That was the greatest team of all time. Nobody on this list is beating that 2018-17 Golden State team. Go ahead.
Next, I have the 2000 Lakers. That was the Kobe and Shaq. The start of their quote unquote dynasty before the wheels all fell off of the ride. And
with Glenn Rice and the boys coming off the bench. That was a squad.
They were playing the Pacers, who, for all intents and purposes, everyone had them as the favorite. Jalen Rose was on that team.
Yes, he was.
Reggie Miller on that 2000 team.
Deadlift Shrimp.
Not you bringing up Deadlift Shrimp.
The Antonio boys.
Yes, you had all of those guys who were the favorites, if I'm not mistaken, to win.
Do you agree? 72-10 Bulls will beat that 2018 Warriors team.
That's the thing that people want.
I would love to see that game, though. I would. That 72-10 Bulls team was a cheat code, by the way. Like, I think Dennis Rodman may be the X factor in that 7-game series.
Yes,
because
and that's the only reason, because I was going to say who would have stopped KD, and it would have been Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, Dennis will get in your head and body you up. So, yeah. I may have to tend to agree with you on that one, Mike. Good job.
And last but not least, I have the 2016 Cavs because that was the first championship for LeBron, and they beat, as Paul mentioned earlier when we were talking, they beat the Warriors, who were the defending champions. That was a good one for me, not necessarily because of team aspects. Again, as much as people, this one keeps saying that I hate LeBron, I love LeBron James, and I was so happy that he won that championship that year.
That's good stuff. And our list is exactly the same. The only honorable mentions I had on here that you didn't was the 85 Lakers and the 86 Celtics, because they just kept going back and forth with each other, swapping titles. And both of those teams starting five were the best that I've ever seen in the history of basketball to this day.
We've never had any other teams that had starting fives from top to, their first 1 through 7 on that Celtics team.
Yes. Yeah. You got Bill Walton coming off the bench in 86.
I ain't talking about him. You had Mikhail, you had the Chief, you had Chief, you had DJ, rest in peace, DJ, you had Bird, you had what's his name? You had the other Paxson boy. You got what's his name? The GM of everybody's team now. What's his name?
Danny Ainge.
Yeah, the Danny Ainge. You had
Danny Ainge was a killer.
You had so many people, so many good people on that Celtics team. But again, people don't want to give them a lot of credit because of, it's the white.
Stop it. They gave everybody that word.
Celtics was that one. If you guys, I don't know if you want to go back because it looks like it ain't in Technicolor. Those Celtics teams in the 80s when we were growing up, they were unstoppable.
The 86-87 Lakers were a problem as well. I think that's when the Virgin, what was his name? Green.
AC Green.
AC Green was on the team, and he was a big factor in that edition of the Lakers team. So 87, that's the one that put Bird Magic above him for that decade.
Yes.
LeBron was the Undertaker. Mama, do you remember when LeBron got off the plane in 2016 with the Ultimate Warrior t-shirt on? Like the ultimate troll job. Right there. You
remember he used to shake the rope like that?
Langston, go feed the baby. Now he's the one doing this now.
Did AC Green get married? Look, I got to Google him. Did AC Green get married?
I hope so.
Because that's a whole lot of strumpf done been built up for 45 years.
Right. He'll deal you a mighty blow. He'll probably knock the out your mouth.
Yes, he is married.
Okay, so now he's a softer, kinder, more gentler AC.
He got married in 2002.
And women, don't you marry no 40-year-old virgin, fool around and kill your ass. You go to the grocery store without him. Baby, where you going? Don't leave me. Don't leave. Don't leave me. Where you go? Tasha, who you shouting out this week?
You know what? I had some shout outs, but hell, I done forgot them with this segment. I have forgotten. That day just went right over my head.
I want to give a shout out to Michael's mom, who is having her wedding day today. Hopefully the weather lights up and we get some sunshine for y'all today. So shouts out to Mike and his family as they celebrate his mother's wedding day today. I want to give a shout out to Team 145 of the Michigan Wolverines, who has their spring game here in about 45 minutes. You going to watch any of it, Tasha?
Yes.
Okay, because I was going to say, I'm going to record it. If not, just jump on my sling and watch it if you have to run.
Well, I got Fox, so I can watch it.
Oh, okay. Excellent. And shouts out to Drizzy Drake, who last night dropped a diss record on Instagram that had AI Snoop and AI Tupac. Tasha, were you impressed?
No. I've already told you I am over all this stupid ass rap beef. Then you got Chris Brown out here now taking shots at Quavo, and I'm just over it. I'm just over it.
And shouts out to newly Dr. Reggie Woods. Congratulations, Dr. Woods. You're over. Did you like the rap beefs in the 90s, Tasha?
I mean, I did because it wasn't so salacious and so personal. Again, my all-time was Ether.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever be better than Ether, but it's kind of like when Tupac and Biggie, like Tupac, as much as I love Tupac, he came in with some low blows. Like
it was habitual line stepping, and
I think a lot of the rap beef now, it's just silly. It's just stupid.
everybody's trying to reduplicate what Cat Williams did a couple of months ago on Club Shay Shay. That if you go visceral, you go viral, and now it seems really manufactured. It was awesome to hear Snoop and Tupac's voice in 2024, so I enjoyed the track for that work, and the fact that he used two West Coast legends to diss a West Coast rapper that he was beefing with was the ultimate game of chess. I will say that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to get out of here and watch some NBA playoffs today after the Michigan Spring game. So thank God for the rain. Gives me a reason to stay in. Tasha T. Sizzle, we will be back on Thursday for the start of the NFL draft, where the Titans are picking number 7.
Guys, tune in on Thursday.
Go blue. He says the pink is pinking.
But which one?
Right, no, this is just the lights. This is really red. It's this light that's sitting on top of me today, and I put it on at the last second, and I didn't have time to adjust my little thing here. So yeah, this is red. This hadn't been washed to death. The harder it gets, you see the more red there. So this is just the light on there. As Langston, don't forget anything, but go blue. We will see you in not 6 days and 23 hours.
You said mauve. And my shit is actually pink.
Right, she got the pink. Mine is more salmon today. We'll see y'all on Thursday night for the draft. For T Sizzler's Pre Culture, we are out of here. Peace. Oh, Thursday at 7, Mama. Thursday at 7. All right. So wait a minute. So what you got going on? I got about 10 minutes.
You didn't hit the button. We're still live.